Welcome to EdTech Tuesday. I'm Rich Dixon.
And I'm Jennifer Gibson.
Jennifer, you brought in a web-based resource for us to take a look at.
I did. I think it's sort of my new best friend. It's called Padlet, and it's a great online bulletin board. I know that sounds kind of weird. It's great. It's awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and start by logging in, and then we'll go through what it looks like. And one of the things you notice once you go to Padlet.com, and we have that URL on the page here, you can log in with Google, with Facebook, or your email and simply create a password with that.
Okay.
If you're new, you can sign up this way as well.
And Jennifer, is there a fee on this?
It's free.
Okay.
And it's very shareable, and it can be a public place. So let's get there, though, and then we can talk about it. I'm going to go ahead and sign in with Google. Once you've logged in, you're going to find this screen. And basically what it's saying is we're going to give you a blank wall. Okay, so again, I want you to think about an online virtual sort of push pin board or bulletin board.
Kind of like a cork board?
Yes.
All right.
Actually, it's just like that. And you can organize this around themes. And I think I'm talking in kind of an abstract way, so I want to take you to an example, and then we'll come back to this
Let's
screen.
do that.
So here's an example of one I made. Check out the background.
All right, it's a cork board.
It is. You can actually choose different backgrounds. They have a number of choices.
Okay.
I'll show that in a bit. But this is one that Rich and I used for a presentation. And all of the resources that we used for this presentation, I was able to pin on the Padlet and then share that with all the attendees.
What was really nice about this is that any of the materials that we used, either as examples or we recommended that teachers check out, are all placed on this particular Padlet. And so it made it really easy for them to come back and see. They actually have thumbnail shots, as you can see, of each thing there. They can click and they can go right to that same resource. So they don't have to remember or write anything down.
Well, I think it comes back to that 21st century skill of curation. So if you think about your students in the class and they're doing a project on, let's say, Abraham Lincoln, they can curate a number of primary resources and documents and whatnot from the web and then pin it here and be able to use them for their presentation. And it's a great way. So let me just click on one of these. Haiku Deck is one that we've already reviewed in the past. Basically, my link to Haiku Deck goes right to their website. And so I was sharing that resource with the teachers. I can go back and then click on something else. Let's go ahead and look at iBooks Author. That was another one we talked about in the presentation. It takes you right to their website. So let's go back and take a look at how you set one up.
Okay, walk us through.
So Rich, I'm going to have you walk through. Go ahead and click on Build a Wall.
All right.
Takes a few seconds. And it says, yay, your wall is ready to start posting something.
And we have a different background here.
We do. This is kind of your generic, plain, regular flavor wall. But over here you've got some tools, and this takes you back to the Padlet homepage. This allows you to create a new wall, so you can have multiple walls in your account.
Okay.
And then here's where who you are, Rich. There you are. This is how you share. So you can actually send out the URL. You can actually get an embed code where you can put it into your website.
Another thing that I like about this is we can easily collaborate with it, and because it's cloud-based, we don't have to worry about only using this particular resource on a dedicated computer. Meaning if we have another computer we access with our account, that same information is going to be there. An iPad, any other device that's connected to the internet.
Well, let me show you a couple of things under the profile. We can actually add a photo for your profile, and I'm going to choose this one for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
I'm going to take that in a complimentary
Yes,
way.
I think you should.
Okay.
You can also add your own photo if you don't like one of the ones showing here. I'll let you do that later. And you can give a title to your photo. So I'm just going to write, Mr. Rich. And then you can have a description and whatnot. You can also choose the wallpaper here. And so this is where I had that corkboard wallpaper selection. Here are a number of great choices that you can have. You can have the blackboard from the old school days. Rich, go ahead and pick one that you like.
Okay, I'm going to go move down, and I'm feeling kind of airy today, so let's click on sky.
Hey, I love it. It goes with that. So then there's also a layout selection. I chose freeform for mine, but you also can have a stream, which is very linear. And then the next one, this is going to be really important. This is about visibility. So, one, you can make it private. That is great for students because it's only by invitation.
Okay.
It's an email invitation, and that is great. The next is a password protected, and that's where visitors have to enter a password you gave them to be able to get on the wall and participate. See, these walls can be interactive where you can post things on my wall if I let you.
Yes.
Okay, so that's really nice. And then there's a hidden link that you can provide. There's totally public. Here's how you add people to invite them to your wall. Here's, privacy. You can moderate posts.
Which is also a really good thing.
Yeah, before they go onto your wall, you take a look. Does this fit the theme? Is it an appropriate link? So there's a lot a teacher can use here.
So Jennifer, one of the things I'm wondering is, where do I get that link? You've mentioned the link. If I'm creating my own, where is that link now?
Oh, well, if you look up here in the URL, you can see you have a special link already created for this wall.
Wonderful.
Isn't
So I
that
can just
nice?
copy it there and
Yeah.
mail that out if for some reason these sharing options aren't something you want to take advantage
Right,
of.
and here's the sharing option. We can go back over there and that would give it to you. Here's notifications where you can say, send me an email. This is once a day to give you updates on what maybe you're doing a shared wall with your class.
If someone's added something, we get a notification
Yep.
about it.
That's it. And then here's the address that we were talking about. Here's the URL. Here's you can pick your own Padlet address, like Mr. Dixon's class might
Perfect.
be taken, I don't know. Or maybe you have a domain that you already own and you want to use that. So it gives you a lot of options. And then here's where you would delete the wall. Let's try posting something.
Okay.
So what you do is you click anywhere on the screen, and then now you get this little icon that comes up. And so what you're going to do is title something. So why don't we do something for
I see.
Lesson Planet? You can write in, the title of our share here. And then you can go down to the next section and give a little description. I usually write like a, one-liner. All right, and then you can click on the little link icon there.
Okay.
And then you can type in the URL. So I'll type that in. And once you hit add, go ahead and try it.
All
It's
right.
like magic. It's going to go out and grab the thumbnail. And as you can see, now we've got the thumbnail there.
So
We
what
can
we
click
see
off of it.
is the web page in real time, the most recent information, without having to
Right.
go back and update that thumbnail with a new image if
No.
that website changes or the content on that page changes.
And then you can also, you can drag it and make it bigger. And sometimes, like what we're seeing here is that the video isn't necessarily showing, and that's okay. When they click through, it will show that video. And then you can do another one, and you can overlap these and put them on top of each other. You can have them, images that you put everything together, different sizes.
What about files?
You can do files, you can do PDFs. It allows you to do all kinds of different things. And that is a quick overview of Padlet.